Earwigs like to live inside small spaces, like inside of locks, which sucks.
And apparently paid to speak about, salamanders.
Mantises can have parasites, and if you dunk them in vinegar, they'll like crawl out.
Crazy, like they can just save energy just by like the way they're shaped and using these like pockets of lapsing vortices and turbulent flow.
Most people are only familiar with frogs being amphibians. They don't have a tail, so that's the most differentiating traits of the salamanders. So if you were to encounter one on the road, it's quite an unassuming creature. I saw one who was like smashed by a car. They're not exactly adapted to compete with like roads.
Mayflies spend more time in an egg underground than they do living in the actual outdoors.
Bioluminescence is used by algae and dinoflagellates for like 100 different purposes. Spiders do not always die if you point a shower head at them. Dragonflies can bite you, and I know that because I picked one up once while they're in the middle of mating.
They live in these like seasonal pools, and when they start to dry up, that's basically like their parents kicking them out of the house.
I'm pretty sure the pileated woodpeckers are the biggest woodpeckers, at least in the Pacific Northwest.
That bug is actually very distantly related to the Brachiosaurus.
If it manages to avoid the cars, later does the same cycle again.
Cicadas and mayflies, they both live underground for 6 months, and then they emerge. Then they fly around for 3 days to reproduce, and then they die.
They're also newts, and they're kind of salamanders, but like David Bowie edition, basically. Because they're like, when they want to mate, they become all colorful and shit. Like, fuck, I was not supposed to do that, or it's fine. Anyways, they become all colorful, swim around, fuck in the pond. They swim around, mate in the pond.
The monarch butterflies are disappearing because not enough people are planting milkweed, and they keep flying into cars when they try to migrate. So they either starve to death or they get windshield wipered.
Of all of the trees, the pine needles taste the best.
There's an animal called the quokka, and in order to escape from danger, it will throw its baby at the predator that is chasing it in order to survive.
It's like the long, bacteria will have long tentacles.
Yeah, the little thingies,
They're thingies, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. They might have different organelles, but they use the same enzymes. They use an enzyme called luciferase, and the substrate is called luciferin. I might be getting this mixed up.
My cousin's a stick bug. That's my fact for tonight.
He is?
No.
There's a certain kind of wasp which burrows itself into figs and then lays its eggs inside the figs and then dies. And so the babies basically hatch and fly out of the figs. And then when you eat a fig, you're actually eating wasp powder.
There's a type of shrimp in the deep sea called the fire-breathing shrimp because it spits out bioluminescent fluid, and it looks like fire underwater.
They die on the roads all the time. If pH is too high, they kind of also just die. They also got back in Europe, we've got this fungus infection that's killing a shit ton of, that's killing a great amount of our native salamanders.
People have taken dead salmon and put them in streams, and they have swam upstream because of this lapsing vortice effect and the way their body is shaped. They can get into pockets where they are just propelled forward because they're experiencing this oscillatory lapsing vortice, and it moves their body in a way that propels them upstream.
Tobacco farmers have to construct anti-deer fences because the deer will eat the leaves and they get addicted to nicotine. the deer eat the leaves and then they get addicted to nicotine, and it's the same thing with weed growing. What the fuck are they called? They're not grow labs. That's when it's outdoor weed farms. They have to build fences around the weeds because the animals love to just eat the weed and just kind of get a little fucked up. So
oh my gosh, did you know that dolphins do that with pufferfish?
Oh my god. Dolphins are the psychopaths of the sea. They're rapists, they're murderers, they're child torturers. They're like one of the species that have sex for fun, but they also don't care about consent. Yellow black, switch it up a little bit.
You've got the greatest diversity of salamanders in the world.
Bees can sting you when they're dead, and I know that because I jumped on one on a trampoline.
Opossums are the only North American marsupial.
If you took every single nerve in your body and put them end to end, you'd die.
Chipmunks are legally classified as vermin. So, in the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie, legally, if Dave got bored of the whole singing chipmunks venture, he could have just killed them. And the law could do nothing, even though they're famous chipmunk singers. I only remember the Chipettes as like Girl Alvin and Girl Simon and Girl Theodore.
Ground, or like their wings are too small to get their little big fuzzy bodies off the ground.
Because they don't care.
They don't care about what humans think.
They don't understand the law. Just like how I don't care what the cops think, so I still rob.
Oh, elephants will sometimes break into certain village huts and drink the fermented fruit alcohol to get drunk.
Salamanders got like crazy. There are some things that can't survive, abilities, as is the case when my little brother forgot to like water our house salamander while I was away. He fell into his empty water bowl and dried up. So in case you hold them at like home, make sure they have like water and that they're kind of chill, which is not as easy to achieve anymore in Bosnia with all the climate change and stuff.
Triboluminescence, which is when the light is created by the breaking of chemical bonds.
Technically, your car keys have traveled further than your car.
They recently discovered that spiders are actually insects. We've been lied to this entire time.
The comb jellies are the largest organism in the world that still uses cilia to move around.
Caught in a bad romance. Whoa.
Fun fact.
See, like, when I was a kid, I spent a lot of time in nature in the Midwest, but, like, I wasn't taught anything about it. Like, I don't know. Birch tastes bad.